Once, in a quiet mountain town in Colorado, there lived an old life coach named Eli Parker. He wasn't famous. He didn't drive a fancy car or post motivational quotes on Instagram, but people traveled miles to meet him because Eli had a gift. He didn't just talk about success. He helped people see what was holding them back from it. One afternoon, a young man named Ryan Carter showed up at Eli's small cabin. Ryan was in his late 20s, wearing a suit that didn't fit right and carrying a laptop bag full of dreams and disappointment. "Mr. Appointment, Parker," he said, "I've been trying to make something of my life. I've worked hard, stayed up nights, followed every success tip out there, but I still feel stuck. Something always pulls me back. What's wrong with me?" Eli smiled gently. "Nothing's wrong with you, son," he said. "You're just fighting the 3 greatest enemies of success." Ryan frowned. "Enemies? I don't have enemies. I get along with everyone." Eli chuckled softly. "These enemies don't live outside you. They live inside you, quietly but powerfully." He gestured toward a small lake behind his cabin. The water was perfectly still, reflecting the clear blue sky. "Come," Eli said, "let me show you something." They stood by the edge of the lake. Eli picked up a stone and dropped it into the water. Ripples spread outward, distorting the reflection. "You see that?" Eli asked. "The lake is your mind. When it's calm, it reflects life clearly. But the moment you let certain thoughts take over, everything becomes blurry." Ryan stared at the ripples. "So, what causes the ripples?" Eli looked him in the eye. "The first enemy is doubt." "Doubt," Eli said, "is that quiet voice that whispers you can't. It tells you you're not smart enough, not ready enough, not talented enough. And every time you listen to it, you shrink a little bit smaller." He picked up a leaf floating on the lake. "This leaf doesn't doubt the water. It just floats, because that's what it was made to do." You were made to grow, Ryan, to create, to rise. But doubt convinces you that you can't. Ryan sighed. "Yeah, I've quit so many times because I didn't think I was good enough." Eli nodded. "We all have. But to beat doubt, you must grow faith, not in luck or miracles, but in yourself. The seed doesn't wait for proof of spring. It just grows. Start believing that your effort matters, even when results don't show up right away." Eli led Ryan down a small trail lined with tall pine trees. The wind blew through them, making a soft rushing sound. "Fear," Eli continued, "is the second enemy. It's powerful because it feels real. It tells you that stepping out of your comfort zone will destroy you. But the truth, fear is just a teacher disguised as an enemy." He picked up a pine branch swaying in the wind. "See these trees? They bend with the wind. That's why they don't break, but if they fought against it, they'd snap." Ryan nodded slowly. "So, I should just face my fears?" "Not just face them," Eli said. "Walk through them. Don't wait for fear to vanish before you act. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's movement despite it." He smiled. "Fear will knock on your door often. Just don't invite it in for dinner. Thank it for reminding you that you're alive, and then keep moving forward." Ryan laughed quietly. "That's easier said than done." Eli grinned. "Everything worth doing is." They returned to the cabin as the sun began to set, painting the sky in gold. Eli poured them each a cup of tea and sat on the porch. "The third enemy," he said, "is attachment. It's what happens when you cling too tightly to your past, to your possessions, to people, or to how life should be. You think you own things, but in truth, those things end up owning you." He pointed to the fading sun. "That sunset. Beautiful, isn't it? But it won't last. And that's what makes it beautiful. Everything in life is temporary. Success, failure, love, loss. When you cling, you suffer. When you let go, you're free." Ryan looked down. "I've been chasing people's approval all my life, trying to prove something to my parents, my ex, my friends online. Maybe that's what's been holding me back." Eli smiled kindly. "Exactly. You've been living for others, not for yourself. And when you live for others, you give them the power to define your worth. He handed Ryan a small, smooth stone from his table. "Keep this," Eli said. "When doubt, fear, or attachment start to rise, hold it in your hand. Remember the lake, calm, clear, still. That's the state where success is born." Ryan nodded, tears welling up. "I think I get it now. Success isn't something out there to chase, is it?" Eli shook his head. "No, my friend. Success begins when you master the battles within, when you stop living for others and start living from your truth." That evening, Ryan walked away from the cabin feeling lighter than he had in years. The path ahead was still uncertain, but his heart was calm. He wasn't chasing validation anymore. He wasn't afraid to fail. He had faith, courage, and peace, the real ingredients of success. Here's the truth. Success isn't a trophy, a car, or a bank balance. It's a state of being. A mind that's free from doubt, brave against fear, and unchained from attachment. So if you've been living for others, stop. Start living for you. Believe in yourself, act despite fear, and let go of what's weighing you down. Because when you do, success won't be something you chase. It'll be something you become. And if this story spoke to your heart, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.